Does anyone remember Beywheelz? Actually, I know you do because you blew up my comment section on my Flywheels deep dive asking to do a feature on Beywheelz, so let's reminisce. Beywheelz were a spin-off of Hasbro's iconic Beyblade toy, which actually has some very interesting lore, so I'm gonna run through the history real quick. Beyblade was created in Japan in 1999 as this unique spinning top toy. It was based off a cool, simple toy from 1950s Japan called Begoma. It was the same sort of design. You would pull a string, and these two spinning tops would battle on a raised platform. Fast forward to the late 1990s, and Beyblade catches fire in Japan, which led to its licensing and release in the States in 2001 with Hasbro as their new parent company. Beyblades don't need much explaining at this point because they became one of the largest and most important franchises of a lot of our childhoods and still exist with a very vibrant and excited community of Beybladers today. But I do think it's important to explain the history because what happens next is actually pretty interesting. Because just 4 years later, Jakks Pacific Toys dropped these bad boys, Flywheelz. These Flywheelz, which I loved as a kid by the way, had a very familiar design with the ripcord. You'd pull the ripcord and these things would just disappear, literally gone for literally all eternity. They were by no means a perfect toy, but I can't help but think this fueled some sort of beef between Hasbro and Jakks Pacific Toys, which led to the creation of Beywheelz. I mean, think about it. Beyblades come to the US in 2001, Flywheelz follow in 2005. They just flip the Beywheel on its side, use the same design, and then brand it towards like cars and skateboards and make it a really cool toy for boys, kind of becoming the hottest one of the year. I mean, shit, I'd be pissed too. A couple years go by, the hype of Flywheelz dies out, and now there's this hole in the market. Thus, in 2012, Beywheelz were born. And let me tell you, these were exactly like Flywheelz. When they dropped, they were around $12 to $13. And inspired by the success of Beyblade, they created a Beywheelz show to accompany the toy, which people have a lot of mixed opinions on, to be honest. There was sort of a lot of anticipation and hope for this show because of it being tied to the Beyblade franchise, but it honestly didn't do very well. From what I've gathered online, people feel like this show was just very cheaply done. It was used to just market and sell this kind of mediocre toy, which in my opinion, a lot of the greatest franchises will start on screen and will create toys to kind of, you know, expand the universe and get the product in your hands, whereas this was kind of the opposite and kind of made it a little clunky and weird. Here's an old channel guide for you nostalgia heads. Look at Beywheelz right between Pokemon and right around Phineas and Ferb and SpongeBob. While there were a lot of haters, there were some fans like Daniel who wanted Beywheelz for Christmas. By the way, as part of this series, I always look up old newspapers and find letters to Santa from kids looking for these toys. But to be honest, whether you're on Team Flywheelz or Team Beywheelz, I think we can all agree on one thing. These products kind of fucking sucked. Realistically, they were both way cooler in design than they were in execution, and in the second you let them rip, they would disappear. The average lifespan for both was probably about 30 seconds, and then you'd never see them again. Check out my Flywheelz video if you want to see all of my grievances with the design. But in the meantime, make sure to follow here for more of this series. Thank you for watching, and let me know what you guys think about Beywheelz.
The sideways.
Yeah.